Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So today there are going to be payments of right around $1,900 deposited into accounts of certain beneficiaries of Social Security. We're going to be going over who, plus we're also going to be exploring the various views of Donald Trump on Social Security over the years. Those views have changed just a little bit, to say the least, but we'll be covering that as well. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $10,000 in free stocks or $10,000 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Mumu. All you have to do is once you click on that link, is just sign up for a free account and then deposit at least $100. At that point, Mumu will be sending you at least 5 free stocks worth all the way up to $10,000. And if you'd rather just have the cash, all you have to do is once you receive the free stocks, is just sell them for what they're worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so diving right into our lead story of today's video, and that involves the former president and Donald Trump and his changing views of Social Security over the last 2.5 decades. So we're going to be going over this article here by NBC News. It says Donald Trump has been all over the map on Social Security and Medicare. So according to NBC News, when former President Donald Trump said last week on CNBC that there was, quote, a lot you can do in terms of entitlements, in terms of cutting, it sparked an immediate outcry from President Joe Biden and began a battle over retirement programs that is likely to persist through the 2024 election. Trump sought to clean it up, he said, saying in an interview with conservative website Breitbart, "I will never do anything that will jeopardize or hurt Social Security or Medicare." Biden campaign spokesman James Singer accused Trump of trying to, quote, trick voters, saying Donald Trump tried cutting Social Security and Medicare by billions of dollars every single year he was in office. At the heart of the debate is the ticking clock. Actuaries say that Medicare is going to be insolvent until 2028, while Social Security is solvent until 2033. After that, benefits will be forcibly cut unless more revenues are added. Biden's new budget calls for tax hikes on upper earners to maintain the benefits. Trump hasn't said how he would address the shortfall, leaving it an open question. His campaign didn't elaborate when it was asked multiple times to comment. So what is Trump's real record on Social Security and Medicare? Well, an NBC News examination found that his views have zigzagged over the years, from calling Social Security a, quote, Ponzi scheme in 2000 to endorsing then Representative Paul Ryan's plans to restructure Medicare in 2012 to positioning himself as the protector of those programs in 2016 to taking aim at some retirement spending in his White House budgets, which of course never became law. Now, before Trump's presidency, in a 2000 book he co-wrote called The America We Deserve, Trump called Social Security a, quote, huge Ponzi scheme that American workers are forced to pay into. He added that for future retirees under 40 at the time, we can also raise the age for receipt of full Social Security benefits to 70 because, quote, we're living longer. In December 2004, just before a Republican push to partially privatize the program, Trump was asked on MSNBC's Hardball whether he would support individual retirement accounts and answered, quote, I sort of think I would. Something has to be done. Social Security is a huge problem right now, funding it. So obviously right now, I mean, his views have definitely changed over the years, as pretty much any politician's has. You can look back at the record of the current president, Joe Biden, for example, and back when he was in Congress, he was saying that we need to slash all programs, including Social Security and Medicare, and now he's saying that we need to increase benefits. So obviously politicians have changed their views over the years, and Social Security and Medicare are both programs that Americans love, and if you threaten to cut those, obviously you're not going to be all that popular. So you're not really going to hear a serious president come out or a serious presidential candidate come out and say that we need to cut Social Security benefits, that we need to lower the amount that's going out, that we need to be raising the full retirement age. If you say those things, that's a really great way to make sure that you're not going to be elected. So obviously you're not going to hear that from either the current president and Joe Biden, nor are you going to hear that for the former president and Trump, and possible the 2024 the 2025 president, if he does end up defeating Joe Biden. But obviously though, something absolutely needs to be done, because as they mentioned there, Medicare is going to be going insolvent in 2028. Social Security is going to be going insolvent in 2033. So if we sit around and we sit on our hands and we don't do anything at all, then at that point there is going to be a cut in Social Security benefits by anywhere between 20 to 25%. So by doing nothing, by not cutting anything at all, or making Americans pay more taxes, you're essentially cutting benefits, by default, if you're just sitting around not doing anything. But again, it doesn't really make sense for Biden to come out and say that we need to cut benefits, or Trump to say the same thing, because if they do, then obviously that's going to hurt them, especially among those who really support Social Security, which if you ask most Americans, they definitely do support Social Security. Now, speaking of Social Security, today there are going to be some payments deposited into certain beneficiaries of Social Security's bank accounts of right around $1,900 on average, and at max right around $4,800. So according to AS, these are the Social Security beneficiaries who will receive $1,900 on March 20th. So following the payment schedule and considering the average amounts, the beneficiaries who will receive an approximate check of $1,900 on Wednesday, March 20th, will be retired workers with a date of birth between the 10th and the 21st of any given month. The SSA will issue the last payment on March 27th, which will go to beneficiaries born between the 21st and 31st of any given month. And you can see the payment schedule up there on the screen. Once again, today, March 20th, those payments are going to be going out to those born between the 10th and 20th of any given month. And then finally, next Wednesday on March 27th, those payments are going to be going to those born between the 21st and 31st of any given month. Now, skipping ahead until April 1st, those payments are going to be going to those receiving SSI. Then the following payments are going to be April 3rd, April 10th, April 17th, and April 24th, depending on your date of birth. Now, in our final news piece for today's video, of course, Donald Trump right now owes right around $464 million in bond money, which Trump is saying that he cannot afford, according to The Hill here. So former President Trump has less than a week to secure $500 million bond or risk the seizure of his assets, as he challenges a trial court's finding that he conspired to alter his net worth for tax and insurance benefits. A New York judge found Trump liable for fraud last year ahead of a months-long trial that ended with the judge imposing a massive $464 million penalty on the Trump organization. Now, of course, Trump is saying that he does not have the money readily available. Obviously, he is a billionaire, so in assets, he has $1 billion, but it's not like he actually has like $1 billion sitting in like his Bank of America checking account or whatever other institution that he uses. I'm sure he has, a decent amount of cash on hand. He might have $1 million or $2 million in a checking account or something like that. But most of his net worth, like most, wealthy people, are like in stocks or real estate or something like that. So in order to raise the $464 billion, he's going to have to sell off a lot of his real estate. And right now with, the rising interest rates, right now it's around 8%. It's not the best time to be selling real estate. And Trump actually wrote in a Truth Social post on Tuesday morning that nobody has ever heard of anything like this before, that he would be forced to mortgage or sell great assets, perhaps at fire sale prices, and if and when I win the appeal, they would be gone. Does that make sense? Witch hunt, election interference. So basically he's saying right now that in order to raise the money, he would have to sell his real estate very quickly. And if he wanted to sell it very quickly, obviously he would have to sell them at much lower prices than what he would be if he had the ability to wait maybe 2, 3, possibly even 6 months to wait for the right buyer to come around, or wait for the interest rates to go back down for prices to go back up again. And again, if he wins his appeal, well, guess what? He's already sold his real estate. So he's going to lose a lot of money in his real estate either way if he's forced to sell it and he comes back to win the appeal. It's not like he can get the real estate back. So either way, he's saying that he's being punished here and that it's a witch hunt and election interference. But let me know what your thoughts and comments are below on all this. Would definitely love to read them, but that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.